Welcome to the 2022 Bush Trials. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Edgley Optica. I am your host, RotorNet44, out here in the Alaska backcountry today. While everybody else has been doing their reviews of the Edgley Optica, we're going to put it through its paces in a bush environment and see how it holds up. Alright, brakes are coming off. Go ahead and give her some power. Turn the fuel pump off for now just to get that droning out of our ear. And we're going to taxi on down to the end of the runway. Now this airstrip is a one-way in, one-way out strip for most aircraft. Lighter aircraft may be able to land opposite direction we're heading now, but for the most part you're going to want to land in the direction we're currently rolling, as that gives you the clearest landing path. So let's go ahead and get good old Sky Dolly rolling. I have not used this application in a long time, but I am determined to use this today, get it rolling so that we can get you some external shots maybe of the takeoff here. Alright, so let's take a look at our default weight. So that is the wrong menu. Wait, here we go. We're going to reset this because those numbers are all jacked up by default. We got 50% fuel on board. Definitely do not want any more than 50% fuel for this airstrip. Pilot weight 170, companions 170. So let's leave them at default values and we'll see just how much runway this thing eats up on takeoff. So let's go ahead and get some nose up trim in here. We want to make sure we have plenty of nose up trim, and we're going to leave the flaps up, but we're going to put them down on the roll. That way we can gain airspeed a little bit faster and not have the extra drag in there. Main thing with this aircraft is you got to gain a decent bit of airspeed for it to be able to lift off. At least for this airstrip and very short field operations, we are definitely at probably the max that this aircraft can do as far as short field operation goes. So we're going to spin in here and get kind of lined up. We're going to hold the brakes, come up to full power, and go ahead and release the brakes. We'll let her fly. And I did forget to turn the fuel pump on, but oh well. We're trying to maintain kind of center line here. We'll get flaps 2 down and we'll see. There we go. Got a nice lift off. Now we need to keep her pretty low here, let her build up airspeed, and very gradually take the flaps out. Or else, well, we're just going to stall on down. We're just going to go ahead and swing back on around and set up for landing. Keep the power kind of low here. And we'll go ahead and go to flaps 2 as we continue our turn in. And we really want to get this thing slow, so we're going to go to the full flaps. Now, we are going to be riding the stall horn there, as you can hear, most of the way in here. That is okay. We are not near the stall speed yet. The stall horn does come on about 5 to 10 knots, I believe it is, before the aircraft actually stalls. So ideally, for short field operations like this, we want to be hearing that stall horn at least most of the way in. So we're going to cut the power there. Oh yeah. Get the flaps out so we get more braking power. Yeah, we got a nice little landing there. Go ahead and continue taxiing back to the start position. Double check that our trim has stayed in position. It has. Actually a little bit more nose up, I think, than it was, but that's okay. We can work with it. Go to full power. Release the brakes. We'll let her roll. And very important for this runway, as you can see, there's rocks near the sides. We need to make sure we stay as much in the center of the runway as we can. Get flaps 2 down. Back pressure. We hit that stall horn a little bit as we take off. So we're just going to make a little bit of a bank to the left here. And we're going to follow Chunilna Creek down and check out a campsite. We still have flaps 2 down. We're just kind of loitering around here. I'm sure we're going to lose this creek a couple of times because it is pretty windy. And there we go. We got a black mirror down there. And the campsite is right here ahead. So the real question is can we land and take off from that campsite? And it's going to be a very tight fit. We actually may end up in the river on this one. But we're going to do a little bit. We hook down here, come back up. I think I called it a river. It's actually a creek. A little bit large for a creek. But we're going to come back up creek. And yeah, we're going to try a landing on that gravel bar. So the landing distance of this aircraft is substantially shorter than what the takeoff distance is. So it's something we need to keep in mind. Ride that stall horn in. This is a really tight creek. Oh, there we go. Get the flaps up. Left the flaps down a little long on that one. And this is definitely going to be a very confined takeoff. Actually, we might have made a huge mistake. Because this may be shorter than what this aircraft can do. Yeah, we may end up in the creek on this one. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to get back as far as we can and try to get as long of a run as we can. And it's probably going to involve taxiing through the water a little bit. So we're going to actually taxi out into the water here. Try to stay where it's somewhat shallow, right along the edge. Just because we need as much runway as possible. There we go. Oh, why aren't my brakes working? There we go. Alright, let's hop on inside. And we're going to... I think we're going to do flaps 2 on this one. I'm still getting used to the flaps positioning and kind of how it relates to short field. We're going to go ahead and go full power. Brakes are holding nice. Let off the brakes. And we're going to try to skim right on by that boat. Go flaps 1, flaps 2. And we need green on the airspeed. Come on. Come on. Nope. We're in the river. Or, I guess, in the creek. I keep calling it a river. Old habits die hard. Okay, so that was a failed takeoff. Luckily, we didn't do any damage. We just slowed down in the water. So, I think if we get back a little bit farther, if my brakes hadn't not locked up, then we would have been off. So we're going to give her one more try. And I think we can barely make it off the spot. Alright, so we're going to go for a running takeoff. So, full power, spin around. We don't have a lot of speed here, but as soon as we hit land, we should pick up speed. Or wait as long as we can before we put the flaps down. Flaps 2. Ah! Okay, yes. Remind me never to land the Edgley Optica in that spot again. And holy crap, that was a tight bend. I definitely felt like there's an impending wing stall on that one. Alright, let's go back to the short strip where we know we're going to be safe and we can actually land. So luckily we are not too far away. It's got about a mile trek up the creek here. We'll go ahead and start pulling some power back as we set up for an approach. Try to keep her in the white arc just so we don't have to slow down too much, which luckily in the Optica that is not hard to do. She is definitely meant for observation and loitering, not necessarily fast speed, even though, you know, at full power you can get her up there a little bit. Alright, let's take a look over. Can see the opening to our airstrip right there, so we're going to go ahead and start turning in. Go ahead and go flaps 2. And go full flaps. Bring some power off. We are a little bit high. Yeah, I'm not worried about landing this thing here at all. This Optica lands so easy at this airstrip. It's the takeoff I worry about. So, is the Optica bush rated? I would say it is. Obviously, it's not going to fit into the tightest of locations, as we demonstrated back there at the campsite. We really had to work with that thing to get it off. We used every freaking inch, plus some, of that gravel bar. But you know what? For the most part, if you get some reasonable bush strips, yeah, this thing's going to perform just fine. Luckily here, we don't have that long of a taxi to get back to the parking spot. And we're going to see just how well we can park this thing again. Get on up here in the shorter grass. Going uphill a little bit, so gotta give her a little bit of a goose of power. Bring that nose on around. There we go. I think we're fairly straight. Get the parking brake, or the handbrake on. Looks like Kilo and Maddo survived the ride, still chilling out. little bit of a lag spike. And let's go ahead and get this thing shut down. Go ahead and turn the strobe light off. And we'll leave the battery and stuff on. Pull the mixture. Generator and battery come off. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Opticas and aircraft. And if you guys, you know, later on after this aircraft comes out and you're watching this video, let me know what you think about the Optica. You know, I'm sure that the GotFriends guys are going to read the comments as well. So, you know, if you tell me what you think, they're going to see it as well. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. As always, have a great day. Rotonaut 44, over and out.